Do you want to turn your dreams into reality? Whether it's buying a house, traveling to Ireland, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, or perhaps it's writing a book, I am here to help you take charge of your life and make your dreams come true. If you are ready to make this year different by taking action on what truly matters, then stick around and I will show you my method to become your most successful self. My name is Andrea, and I've been struggling the last 2 years with getting things accomplished, or even having an idea of what I want to accomplish. Well, I am here to share with you how I got more done last month than I did all of last year. And I want to help you do the same. There are 5 parts to my method. I believe if you do these 5 things, you will have the most successful year ever. This doesn't have to be done in December or January. You can do this at any time of the year. So don't tell yourself, I'm going to wait till January. Start now. I worked in education for over 10 years. I believe everyone learns in a different way. So for those of you who like to follow along with a workbook, I have created all of this information in an easy to follow along guide, which you can purchase on Amazon, and you can get it in 2 days if you have Amazon Prime. So I'll leave the link in the description. Otherwise, if you want to get started right now, then get out a blank journal, a blank notebook, anything you want. Or you can also use Google Docs. Again, whatever method you use, I want it to work for you. I want you to be successful. So if following along in a workbook works for you, awesome. If using a blank journal, great. If you're on the computer, even better. Whatever works for you. All right, let's start with step 1, which is reflecting on the previous year. You have to be able to reflect on the past in order to grow. Okay, so write down what you are most proud of that you accomplished last year. Like 1 to 3 things. What are you most proud of? This doesn't have to be big. It can be small things. It's just something that you are really proud that you completed. Now, write down something that you didn't accomplish that you wished you would have. This could be one thing or a couple things. What were your biggest challenges last year? What went well? What are you grateful for? This is an important step to moving forward, knowing your challenges especially, so you can work through those to get things accomplished. Step 2, goal formation. So now that you looked at last year, we're going to start with taking a piece of paper and just write everything you can think of. We're just in the brainstorm stage of what you want to accomplish this year. Don't worry about forming what your goal is going to be. Just write down things that you want to accomplish. You can do it in bullet form. You can do it just randomly. The idea is to get your thoughts from your head to your paper. So set a timer maybe for 5 to 10 minutes and just write. Don't take the pencil off, just write. All right, now that you have all of your ideas down on paper, we're going to start formulating the goals. When you're looking at your list, I want you to ask yourself these 4 questions. 1, can you accomplish this goal in a year? If not, how can you break it down into a more manageable goal for the year? What's the timeline of this goal? Is it daily, monthly, weekly? It's good to have a variety of goals with different timelines. One goal might be something you want to do every day. And then one goal might be something that it'll take you the entire year to accomplish. You need to know what your timeline is so you aren't overwhelmed with the same timeline for every goal. Question 3, which I think is one of the most important questions to ask. Why do you want to accomplish this goal? What would it mean to you if this goal was accomplished? And lastly, number 4, does this goal represent who you are or who you want to become? Your goals should be challenging yet attainable. So if you're looking at the goal and you're thinking, I'm never going to get this done in a year, then maybe don't set yourself up for failure. figure out what part of that goal you can get done. I wouldn't do more than 12 goals for the year. So in my workbook, you have room for 12 different goals. If you're in your own notebook, you can write as many goals as you'd like, but I would stick it to no more than 12. Make sure when you are writing them that you think of the SMART acronym. Are they specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound? As we go through the process, you can always change how the goal is written or change what part of the goal you want to work on. So don't worry about the wording, which is why I suggest doing it in pencil. That's the step that most people get to, but they don't go to the next step, which I think is one of the most important things to do as you're setting your goals. Step 3 is breaking down each goal. So let's start with your why. Why did you pick this goal for yourself? And I want you to write this down. If you're using my workbook, it's all laid out for you to do it this way. If you're using a piece of paper, you can write down your goal at the top and then write why. So if you're using a Google Doc, you could use the goals across, like goal 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And then maybe in the rows, you would have questions. Why did this goal make one of your 12? Be honest with yourself. This is for you. If you can't answer why, then you may not want to do this goal. After your why, I want you to write down challenges. So write on your piece of paper, what challenges will you face to accomplish this goal? Say you have a goal of making meals every night. What's going to get in your way of making meals every night? I can probably think of 10 things right now what get in my way when I try to make a meal every night. This could be busy sports schedule. This could be you got home from a long day at work and all you want to do is sit on the couch. And the last thing you want to do is make a meal. Write down all of these challenges. What is going to stop you from accomplishing your goal? And then we want to break down the goal into what steps are necessary in order for you to make this goal happen. Going back to the meal planning, what do I need to do in order to make a meal every night? Well, I need to plan ahead and think about what ingredients I need for the meals I want to make, or maybe I want to involve my family in making the meals so it's not just on me. Think about the steps you need to take in order to get this goal done. Last thing you're going to write down is what your timeline is. When will this be done by? If it's the end of the year, write December 31st. If it's monthly, maybe you say by the end of the month and put January 31st, February 28th. Write down dates. I know this seems like a lot of work to do for every goal that you want, but if you want to accomplish your goal, you have to understand your goal and really look deeply into it. That's how you're going to accomplish it. All right, on to step 4, tracking your goals. So to all of you planners out there like me who love the planning stage, but may not be as good at the follow-through, me, this is going to be an important step for you. You're going to take each goal and split it out by month. This will help you track your goals as well as feel accomplished each month when you get the smaller task, which relates to the bigger goal, done. All right, so take your first goal. Say we start in January. Write down what task you're going to do in January to help accomplish your goal. Then what will you do in February, March, April, May, and so on. Breaking your goal down makes it seem way less daunting of a goal. And you know how on track you are with accomplishing it. If by June you haven't done any of the tasks you said you're going to do in January through May, then you're going to have to work even harder, which is why it's nice to break it down by month. Having multiple goals is really helpful, especially on those days when you don't feel like doing it. And you will have those days. You'll look at your goal list and say, you know what? I don't feel like doing that today. And that's okay. Then you look at your whole list of goals and say, okay, what am I in the mood to do? When you have choices, you're more likely to choose something rather than saying you have to do this one thing. I don't do well when I have to do something. I like to have choices. Go with where your energy is. Just because you don't want to do one goal doesn't mean you can't get something done on another goal. So remember, having a choice each day is a good thing. Obviously, things may change throughout the year. You just shift with it and change it. It's okay to change it. It's not set in stone. You're writing it in pencil. So if you want to change something because you go a different direction or you learned that it was way too much of a task, don't just give up on it. Don't quit on the goal. Change it. Make it so it's manageable and that you can get it done. A little progress is better than no progress. A little progress is better than no progress. Remember to hold yourself accountable, but still give yourself grace. You have to find a balance between the two. We've made it to our last step. Step 5, accountability and follow through. You have done all of this work. You feel energized and you're ready to take on the world. And the first month goes awesome. You are on schedule. You are doing great. But maybe you slide into your old patterns. This could happen. Most likely it will happen. So you need to put things into place to stop that from happening. So checking in on your goals quarterly, monthly, weekly is going to be really important. You need to find what inspires you to get things done. What energizes you to stick with your plan. This will look different for everyone. You need to find what motivates you and make a point to do it regularly. Maybe it's exercise, meditating, reading, going for a walk, listening to music, watching a YouTube video. When I get stuck on a goal, I'll go to YouTube and look up that particular goal and find someone that's doing it well and can inspire me to keep going. My guidebook is filled with a ton of checklists and to-dos that can help you with life in general, like a declutter list, a cleaning list, a meal planning guide. And another important thing is not everything you want to accomplish is going to be a part of your goal, but you still want to do it. So I have a separate list that's just my to-do list. And anytime I think of something that I want to do, I write it on this list. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a part of my 12 goals. It's just something I have to do. Like I want to look at my Christmas card list and cut it down a little bit. So that's something, it's not really on a goal, but it's a to-do item that I want to do. So I have a separate list that is just my to-do items. If you have a monthly or daily planner that you like to use, then keep using that. In my workbook, I have a monthly and weekly guide where you can write down 3 tasks to do every day. That has worked so well for me. It doesn't feel daunting. I can accomplish 3 things in a day. So the night before, will write down the 3 things that I want to accomplish, that maybe one is towards one of my big goals. Maybe one is something that came up that I have to do for my family. And maybe one is for a different goal. What 3 things would you feel really good about accomplishing if you got them done the next day? That's what I focus on. And if anything else gets done, great. But I have to accomplish those 3 things. Remember, the planning stage is safe. It's fun. You have to move into that uncomfortable stage. The stage of growth and action. That's where it's going to make a difference. You are going to have to get uncomfortable if you want to get some of this stuff done. You're going to have to do things that you didn't think you could do, but you're going to get it done, and it's going to feel so good. You can't grow unless you're uncomfortable. You have to get out of the comfort zone to get your goals accomplished. And I know you can do it. If you want some more ideas on how to stick with your goals, I have the next video, which is 10 ideas to stay on track and stick with your goals. Good luck, and I know you can accomplish great things.